Good morning, beauties. Welcome back to a Fit Life Center, a place where you can come and learn some gentle mindfulness skills and maybe move your body for the purpose of release, for the purpose of learning ways to start to let go so that you can invite in the life that you really want. Y'all, nothing changes, nose running. You know, if you're on this channel, you're going to get used to this because your girl got allergies. And I just got to manage it, right? As we all do with the various things in our life. So I was racking my brain like I usually do every week, trying to think of what to talk about today. What would be beneficial to you? And I usually check in with myself to see if something resonates with me. But for a while, nothing was showing up, right? And so I was like, oh, well, maybe there'll be no video today. And just at the last moment, a thought popped in my mind to check in on you, to ask you, how are you? How are you doing? Really, right? Usually when people ask us, how are we doing? We'll just say fine, blessed, highly favored. You know, if you're from the Black community, you probably heard that a time or two, right? And all of those things may be true. You may be fine, you may be blessed, and you are definitely, definitely highly favored. Don't let nobody tell you different. But you might have to do a little check-in to see, are there some areas that you need to pay a little closer attention to offer yourself a little more self-care, a little more self-love. And that's all right if you find those places that feel a little tender, that maybe feel a little tight, that have some tension in it, that you have to kind of sit with and examine and figure out what's going on with you. What do you need, right? Ways to do that, right? This is the kind of skill-based mindfulness channel, right? So I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you ways to do that. The first step is to slow down. We are moving so quickly from task to task, from event to event, that sometimes we forget to just take a minute and chill, right? Especially on this channel, we've gotten some new subscribers, right? And some of these beauties are traveling the world. I'm going to join you soon. Don't you even worry about it. But you could be so busy planning your next trip, your next move around the world that you haven't checked in with yourself, right? It's just you have this in your mind and now you're executing. It's a beautiful thing to execute what you want, but you need to slow down enough to see, are you still following your own path? Or are you just continuing to stay on some path that might not be working exactly the way you need it to be? It happens. I call that course correcting. Sometimes we are on a path and something shifts a little bit and we need to stay a little longer where we are, right? Or we plan to stay longer where we are and we need to move. That can be physically, emotionally, or mentally. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be a little transparent today. So I've been going through a situation in my life where I was very resistant to it, right? I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want to deal with it, vibe with it, accept it. And yet, when I got quiet, I realized that the situation had already happened and I needed to adjust to what was already happening to me, right? And start to let go of my resistance to it so that I could make changes in my life. I was on a path that I thought was going in a certain direction, and it changed. I didn't like the change. So I was being resistant and determined to stay on this path when it had already shifted. And so now I am breathing through, taking my time with shifting, right? Being compassionate to myself, being less resistant when I notice that I am resistant. So, how are you? Do you need to take a minute and notice what's up with your life? Has it shifted in some way that you haven't quite noticed? And you're still on this path, but it doesn't quite feel right. It's not sitting right. It's feeling harder than it should be. Chill for a second. Take some breaths. Observe. Notice how you are interacting with your world, how you're responding. If you start to feel resistance, anger, bitterness, frustration showing up, those are some indicators. They're like little warning signs. Hey, something's going on. Pay attention. Take a minute to check in, to see what is happening. Do you need to shift a little bit? Maybe you check in with yourself and you're like, go girl, go girl, go girl, because it feels right. Doesn't mean easy. Right doesn't mean easy, right? Right means I am on the right path. There are bumps maybe along the way, but keep going, right? When you're traveling to a destination, sometimes your flight is delayed. Sometimes they lose your luggage. Doesn't mean turn back and go home. It means learn how to be flexible. Go get you some food if you're in the airport, right? Go buy you one set of underwear and a t-shirt and some shorts till your luggage shows up. Because that's what you got to do. Doesn't mean you got to get off your path, right? So see where you are. Do you need to make some changes? Do you need to find some flexibility? Do you just need to fall back and accept this is where you are right now? A little bit struggle, but you can do it. You got skills to get through a struggle. And you can't tell me that you don't, because the majority of people on this channel are Black women. Girl, you have struggled and overcome. So if you have to find some flexibility, you already have that skill available to you. Use it for your purpose instead of always using it for the purposes of other people. Just take a little time. I would like for you to leave in the comments how you are doing. What's up with you? Where are you in your journey? Tell me. I'm in the journey of transition. I asked for freedom. Freedom is showing up like a mofo. Some of it, I didn't know freedom was going to look like that, right? So I'm in the transition of accepting what I asked for. I didn't know it was going to be all this. Part of me is like, whoa. And the other part of me is like, whoa. Oh, man. And yet there's a little piece of me that's excited to see where this is going. But I'm committed to the ride. I'm going to talk next week about something called accepting the reality of what is. It is a skill that comes from a therapy called dialectical behavioral therapy. And I'm going to talk about the steps of trying to accept the reality of what is. Sometimes it's very easy, depending, but sometimes it can be extremely difficult to accept the reality of what is. We're going to start off next week defining what accepting the reality of what is. What does that mean? Again, I'm just here to offer you some skills, some little tips to keep you on your journey of making your life fit for you. One more thing before we go. Y'all, we are at 172 subscribers. When I started this channel a few months ago, we had goose egg, 0. And now we have 172 subscribers. 172 beauties rocking with me. I didn't even know if we was going to get to 5. I got a goal. I want to get to 200 subscribers by August. Can you help me do that? Can you like this video? Can you make sure that you're subscribed? Share this video with your people if you think it might be helpful. I want to add to this community of Black women who are determined to help each other set each other free. We're all on the journey of freedom. We have been instrumental in setting everybody else free and nurturing everybody else. I want to help you do it for yourself by learning to rest your mind, your body, enjoy yourself, check in with yourself. Shift and change if you need to in order to continue your journey to create a life fit for you. That's the whole purpose of this channel. You see my logo back there, AFIT? It stands for a fit life. A fit life. That's what we're going to do. We're going to create a fit life for you. So with that being said, have a great day. See you soon.